Yeah, I mean, I don't expect to have Mason Faulkner tomorrow, and I think that's it. I don't know that. I shouldn't say tomorrow. It's 2 days from now.
In the last outing, there were still some of the struggles, the offensive droughts, I guess field goal droughts, but the team still fought through them. They showed their emotions in the second half. Did you learn anything about the makeup and mental state of your team for the way they fought in that last game?
I mean, we have the capability to be that team. We've shown that not just against Wake Forest, but in some other games as well. You know, we have to finish around the rim better. I mean, it's no secret. I thought, you know, part of what led to the drought was just us missing layups. And, you know, there's no real simple answer for that other than make them. No one's trying to miss them, but, you know, in order to escape a 9-0, 10-0 drought, you know, you have to be able to knock one or two of them down. You know, we were able to get to the foul line on a few occasions, which really helped our team get out of the drought. You know, so we didn't see a jump shot go down. We didn't see a layup go in, you know, when we're in the midst of it. And getting the other team to the point where we're in the bonus allows us to get to the free throw line and break those droughts again. To shoot 34 free throws, really positive step in the right direction.
What does it do for Sam maybe to get some of those curl actions you had him on where he can catch the ball with a little momentum?
I mean, it's the way we want him to play, the way we need him to play. He's got really good downhill speed. He's an excellent finisher. You know, especially when he's slicing to the basket. He's right hand, left hand, proficient. You know, he missed one the other night where he got fouled, and you know normally he gets that and one. But yeah, he's got to recognize those moments. Those can't just be play calls, and they weren't the other night. There was a good mix. But yeah, him recognizing those opportunities to search out when his defender is not paying attention and backdoor him. That's a good thing. We get Sam in the lane.
He said those. I think the first two. He said the other night were called right. The first two early ones. And then what is that process for him of just sort of? Does he just look for an opportunity? Does he see if it's there? I got a chance to cut and go.
Yeah, I mean we do so much as a lot of teams do with middle pick and roll. And when the help collapses in, and when they're bumping the roll and accounting for the big close to the basket, you know, a lot of times those off-the-ball defenders are pinching in. They're either tagging the roll or bumping it, and they're so conditioned to close out to their man, they're not necessarily expecting that guy to be going downhill. And you know, you can't do it all the time. You got to pick and choose your spots so that the defender doesn't always know that hey, he's just trying to drive here. I thought Sam did a really good job of that.
Chris, you mentioned that you guys just missed some layups the other night, and it feels like you've been able to create some open shots that just haven't fallen this season. Do you use that as kind of a teaching point for keeping confidence in the offensive philosophy to just kind of keep plugging it?
Yeah, that's why, I mean, maybe from an outsider's perspective, you know, you see the drought or you see, you know, us not scoring a certain amount of points or going, you know, a certain amount of minutes with not scoring the ball, but we're so much, you know, more process-driven as a coaching staff and what we're looking for in our offense. And I felt great about where we were with Wake. You know, whereas other games, even when the ball's going in, you know, first half against Western Kentucky would be a perfect example. People thought our defense, and it did, it did let us down big time in the first half. And they were like, hey, if they could just get their defense to where it's been all year and play the same type of offense they did in the first half, they'll be fine. And that's total fool's gold. How we played in the first half was a joke. And our players have to understand that. We have to be systematic in our approach, whether they're zone or whether they're man. And that's why I was really pleased with how we played on offense, because we got that part. Can't control missed shots, but we can control getting and earning really good shots. And our team took a real positive step in the right direction against Wake.
Do you feel like there was a better balance of kind of still getting those outside shots with some of the shooters you have and attacking the lane a little bit more?
Yeah, again, I think sometimes I get, you know, I don't want to be this guy that you think I'm against three-point shooting. It has to be created the right way. We're not talented enough to just swing it around a couple times on the perimeter and launch it up. I don't think any teams really are built to be successful over the long haul that way. And our team had to learn the hard way, unfortunately. And it doesn't mean we're going to be perfect moving forward, but I think we understand what we're supposed to get out of our offense to get looks, whether they're inside the three or outside the three.
There
Well, I thought he definitely, cut with confidence, cut like he wanted to go into his shot, recognizing those opportunities when he has them. I think Noah has to understand that offensively, he always has to be a hard cutter. No good team is going to lose him just because they're not paying attention to him. There's got to be an obstacle, and that's a screen, and he's got to be able to set his man up so his man, falls into the screen and frees himself or collapses a big guy on him. Thought he did that much better in the second half.
We've seen Sid and Rose kind of work their way into the big man rotation. We haven't seen a lot of JJ this year. What does he need to do to change that?
JJ's got to bring way more energy. He's got to be a guy that, can either be a lot more physical and a lot stronger as a 5, or a lot more confident when he has the ball on the perimeter against a smaller guy and not get overwhelmed by pressure. He can shoot the ball. He's got a good IQ. But again, he's sort of in between right now. We have a couple four men that are ahead of him, a couple 5 men that are ahead of him. And that's, I can see his versatility for both positions. And we haven't given up on him, but he's got to be stronger as a 5 if he's undersized. And he's got to be way better with the basketball in terms of decision-making when he plays on the perimeter.
You seem to use a shorter rotation in the second half, if I remember correctly, in the last game. Is that something that's just going to transpire per game, depending on what the flow is or the opponent is? Or do you see that potentially evolving as the season progresses?
Part of the smaller rotation was the fact that a couple of our players came off of COVID and weren't really available to their fullest extent. So I wouldn't read too much into that. I've said it all the time. I think we don't have this hierarchy of a player of the year candidate. We have a bunch of really good players, and so who performs best in practice and in the game will continue to get extended run.
One thing on Sam, I've heard NBA coaches say before, like a guy can be an athlete, but if you don't get his athleticism in the game, it doesn't matter. Are cuts and things like that away from the ball ways to get his athleticism
Yeah,
useful?
no question about it. Getting him out in transition, getting him in space, finding those moments where he can, cut to the rim and use his size and his athleticism, especially off 1 foot, are ways that we've got to be able to utilize his athleticism. He does a really good job on both ends of the floor of using it to rebound.
And how important is it? You guys have had trouble in easy stuff sometimes offensively. How important is it for him to get some of those things, like transition buckets, things like that?
It's important for Sam. It's important for our whole team. So whether it's opportunities that he's trying to find during the course of our offense, or us slowing the breakdown and running a set play to get the look that we want, an easy one. I think we're getting closer to where we need to be.
It looked like there were a few times where we took Jalen aside last game on the defensive end and wanted to point a few things out to him. What do you see out of him on that end and really overall confidence-wise?
You mean for Jalen or Malik?
For Jalen.
I keep saying it. Jalen has to play with a higher motor. He has to base his, effectiveness on running the floor, rebounding the ball, defending his tail off, and getting lost in those things and taking care of the ball on offense. And if he does that, then good things will really happen for him. And I think, Malik's really in tune to that. He knows what Jalen needs to do to be successful. Jalen really listens to Malik as he should, and I'm fine with that. That's a great assistant coach to have that's able to wear the jersey like Malik.
What have you seen from Georgia Tech, and what do you expect from the Yellow Jackets on Sunday night?
Well, they have one of the best scorers in the country, certainly best scorer in our league, and Michael DeVoe seems like he's been there forever. He's just a really good player. He's really smart, extremely confident. He's adept at staying on the perimeter, getting in the lane, shot faking, using his body, just really knows how to play. They run a lot of Princeton action that, we have to be alert, responsive to their back cuts and who's coming to the ball. And they'll change their defenses up, so that's going to be a big challenge for our team. We didn't pass that challenge against Western. I'm confident we're going to be a much better team in terms of recognition and execution against Georgia Tech, but that's a challenge when you play them. early on, they'll play 3 or 4 defenses in the first 10 possessions, and all with the same goal in mind to turn you over. So, big challenge for our team.
Somebody asked me this the other day, so I'm going to ask you because your answer will be way better than mine. What is it that Jared does so well on the ball? What does he do to disrupt people?
He's relentless. You know, one basket against him or one blow-by doesn't lessen his pressure one iota. He's the same the next possession. He is a bulldog, and that gets annoying if you're the other guard. You start passing it to the 2 guard and letting him bring it up. And 2 guards, like a guy like Alondis Williams, aren't used to having that guy up under him the whole time when they're using ball screens. They're used to a little bit taller matchup that gets stuck on the ball screen. Jared blows up ball screens by himself a lot of the time. And, you know, I've never been around someone like Jared on the defensive end. It's special to watch, and we're going to keep utilizing him as the weapon that he is.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you, guys.